Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the lightning talk of Max. I'm very excited about this one because it is actually also the first time that we are meeting each other. At the same time, I feel like we have been already connected for a longer period of time because I watched your YouTube videos and it feels like, we are somehow connected. And then I realized that, oh, wow, we are also in the same communities from school. It would be so cool to connect and also learn more on how you have managed to bring your excitement, your fun with AI also into certain products. Because the area of productionization is something that is very relevant for many Trailblazers, and we definitely can learn from you there. The stage is yours, Max.
Right. So this is going to be talking about the two solutions I've made since starting. My background's in web dev, and then I switched to AI. I saw like workflow automations with Make on some videos. I was like, that looks fun. So I made a switch back in April, and I made two solutions so far that have made some money. Not like huge amounts of money, but considering like I work a day job and I'm studying, I'm trying to get my certification from IBM. So it's like a part-time thing. I just do more for fun, and been blessed that's made money. So yeah, I just want to go over those two solutions. I'll use the same press right. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I was going to show you a quick demo of what these things do. This solution right here, Max, actually didn't start with any intention of making any money. It was a dedication to my father who passed away. He was a radio DJ and a record producer and a record label. Very interesting character, but I want to show you how quickly this works. There's a guide here on how to create music. It goes into details how to make detailed music, and it's based on the API of Suno, a third-party API. I'm sure you've heard of Suno, right? If you played with it, the fourth version is like it's production level music. It's very impressive. So anyways, what I'm going to do real quick, instead of going through that guide, I'm just going to ask help from Claude to make a song, let's say chill trap music for study and focus. Okay, and then while that's
generating, also maybe you could describe what is there in your project as the instructions.
The instructions for usage or the actual?
Yeah, because it looks like you have the project running, right, called Music Production System, and there are already certain instructions that you have put into Claude.
Yeah, this is just basically these instructions right here, this guide that I showed you. I just do it to Claude so I don't have to actually think if I want to make something quickly. That's all it is.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the normal process is you just fill this out according to the instructions. Like if a customer comes here, and they just fill out these details, like what you want an instrumental album, what's your mood, what's your audience, subject, which tags for the music. So that's how they use it. For me, if I just want to make something quick, I'm getting help right here. Yes, so we'll continue that. Okay, so that's gonna make me the values to put in there as if I was a customer. That's what I'm simulating right now. The other solution I made while it's producing is called Motivate Mate. And the background with this one was it was a contest actually in another community. Now this interface right here is very cheesy. We actually have a nice interface we're building on Softer, but it's not ready for a demo yet. So it's going to be a very professional interface where you log in, you have a subscription. It has a display of all your calls, the data, the reports, and it's a coaching system in short. Okay, so let's get this started real quick. All right, here it is. So we're just gonna grab this information, botanical binary for the title. Grab the lyrics. The idea here is to put them through a journey, a musical journey in their album. They get 10 songs. And it's supposed to the song is supposed to progressively try to tell a story based on their lyrics and their selections. That's the goal. Okay, and then we need just the tags. I gotta get the tags. Then we get the moods. This is making this up for me, these values. if you don't, you guys know about projects in Claude? You could upload a bunch of documents, give it instructions, and it'll act like a little assistant based on those documents. So that's what I'm doing right here.
That's what I was pointing for.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah. You have to give your email so you get the album. So let me put my email. Go ahead, you can add me to your emailing list if you want. We'll just make this, we'll make this instrumental album. We got the subject, audience. All right, there's audience. Okay. So I'm going to submit that. Get that out of the way. Thanks for your patience. This here. And you normally pay, but I'm going to use a coupon so I don't have to pay. I don't want to pay myself. I'm cheap. There's a coupon right there. $6 for 10 songs. It's not that bad price. And then produce my album. And what happens is you'll get an email. It's like supposed to be, you know, in the theme of the experience. I'll show you that in a second. Okay. Motivate mate, we have to call. So I'm going to start filling this out. This is supposed to be business coaching, like a new business or a small business. So we get that demo started. Use my cell phone. 972-256-41.
And this one is running for something like half a year, right? Because with Music with Max, it's just sort of several, maybe 1-2 months, right?
Music with Max, yeah, it's very new. This we made in like 6 weeks for a contest back in July, I want to say. Right, and I'll show you guys real quick. So you'll get an email as soon as you submit the form for Music with Max. You'll get an email. It's like your producing team will tell you details about the song you ordered. The production team, right there. Okay, and it takes about, I think, 20 to 30 minutes to create the album. And that's mostly because we're waiting for API to produce each song, produce artwork, and do other stuff for us. Okay, now we get the coupon for this puppy. All right. Now this is an outbound voice AI system, so it's going to call you. The idea is to schedule calls on a set time, so you're reminded of your goals and the things you need to do for your business. How you doing?
Next, we do have noise cancellation on the caller, so we can't really hear it.
Okay, so I'll just cut it short. I can always show you guys a demo if you want to see how it looks like. The idea is it uses a smart system for the first call, the ongoing call. Or the first call is a smart system. It's basically like 8 questions. And what it'll do is it'll ask you those questions. It'll try to keep you on track. And after that, it compiles a report based on a transcript. Now, I'm assuming you guys are at least vaguely familiar with voice AI systems. You'll get the recording and you'll get the full transcript of the call. So once you have that, it's sent to your server, to your webhook, and you can do whatever magic you want to do with AI at that point. For example, we run it through like a bunch of different modules to turn it into a report. And I can actually show you how that looks like. Let me find one. Big mate. Okay. All right. Let's show you an example of the report. It's easy like this. Based on a call, it's going to create 2 reports. This is the high level. One's a base level report based on smart. The second one tries to use techniques like Blue Ocean. There's 2 other books that are very like well known in the business field, and it tries to use those techniques to create a high level consult. All right, so it gives a summary of the call, where you're at. Those are the different metrics. if you guys want, I'll just like send you a demo so you can test it out yourself. It's very powerful. And it remembers the calls, it remembers your history. So the next time you call, it'll update the questions it asks based on the responses you made and based on the report you received to check up on you and try to advance your business and your progress. So it's very powerful, yet very simple to make. And all because of AI.
How have you decided on exactly these categories to be relevant for business owners? So there were data-driven techniques, then there was more on strategic points. So how have you decided on exactly these points? Why, for
Yeah,
example, not
so
saying that, well, what functionalities should something develop? Because that would be something that would be, for example, more if you would be creating more of PRD thing. But at the same time, you have decided on exactly these categories.
yeah, so honestly, both of them, first of all, the Motivate Mate started because it's a contest, and we were assigned with a team of random teammates in the community. And the other teammates said, I said, like, whatever, I could be the engineer. And they're like, we want to do business consultation. That's what we're interested in. So it's like, okay, have a voice AI that's like, not a lot of people know about it. It's very powerful. They're like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how that was decided. There was no market research or anything. You normally want to establish a niche, do market research, know that you're going in a good direction. In this case, it was like we had 6 weeks to build something. And the contest was to build an AI solution or service in 6 weeks and make sales. So it was like, yeah, it's like you don't have a lot of time to spend on market research, stuff like that. So we're just like, let's just go and see what we can do. Music with Max is, I think it's kind of like a universal thing where, especially us engineers, like I'm assuming most people here are engineers. We sort of, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking only for me and my friends, but we also want to be artistic too. So the AI has really given us access to be able to create art, create music, create videos, combine them in ways that normally is harder for people that are just coding all the time, right? And as it happens, also I've been wanting to set up something in memory of my father. And so it's just one of those things that like, okay, let me start learning about music and AI. I'll start making videos about it as I learn. And that turned into getting some clients, which funded me building this project. So that's the path. That's not the normal path for creating a business, obviously, but this is just how these things worked out. Let's see here. So we had to talk about demo. Sorry about the coaching demo. That one's actually pretty fun. You guys should try it. Okay, so yeah, so like I was saying, for the Motivate Mate is very. I found it personally practical, right? Because I have goals. I'm trying to build things. I need to know which direction to go. So I talk to the Motivate Mate. It's keeping track of my progress. If I talk to it every 1 or 2 weeks, it can tell me, okay, here's what I suggest to do next. And it's like, oh, I didn't think of that. Even though it's things like a lot of things, these things, like we learn from different business coaches, let's say Hormozy or whatever. But having a AI talk to you, go over the concepts, give you suggestions, you're like, I did not think of it. So something you could build for yourself. It can be done through text. It doesn't have to be a phone call. Phone calls just convenient because it calls you and it forces you to answer. But it's a very powerful thing, even just for yourself, for accountability and everything else. Let's see. Music is like, I don't know. I'd have to talk to music producers. I don't know what to tell you. To create music. Any music people here?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So how would that be helpful for music creation? The API to be able to make custom music. Would that help an average musician, let's say?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Max. I'm actually pretty impressed with the project. I wanted to ask you if it's possible to adapt the coach for it, like to cover other domains, but business also. Like us regular people, maybe want to, like, let's say music coach or a psychologist or like I don't know the actually the gym coach like to call us couple of times
Yeah.
a day. So maybe it could grow.
Yeah. So right now I have disabled these other ones, but not only can you change a coach just by switching a variable, you could also change the language by switching a couple variables. You could have it speak to another language, write reports in another language. You have it coach on whatever topic you want just by switching around some variables. This example configuration right here. Like I have a life coach, I have an interview coach, I have a Spanish coach, which is for my friend. Yeah, so it's very modular. Part of the design was to make it very modular. So yeah, so you do solution approaches. These were not architectured. These were not. I didn't plan out these solutions. I built them as I go, and then you look back and you're like, there's a lot of things I can improve. So like because of the time constraints, the fact I'm just doing this as I'm going along, trying to accomplish my certification, et cetera, it's one of those things like it's good to get started and build and try to answer, solve a problem, and then go back and engineer. Like if you're time constrained, right? So yeah, that's my approaches of these things. Is there anything else with the results of learning? Yeah, I made money, and it's not because I planned to make money, but I made the coaching solution, and we won first place. And Alina knows how big the community is, Jack's community is. So if you're first place in a community of 1,600 builders, people are like, "Wow, I want to learn from this guy." You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of leverage. So I say if I turn the motivate solution into a course after winning a contest, say, hey, listen, I'll sell this to you, $500 if you want it. A lot of people will take that, right? Just because you're leveraged, because of your position. So I guess you could learn from that. You should build publicly. You should get people interested in what you're building. You should record what you're building. You should stream what you're building. You should share solutions, like sub solutions that make your creations. And it brings attention to you, and it brings you leverage, brings you like a reputation, prominence. Yeah, also following passion, like the music thing just coincidentally made me money. People are like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, okay. This is what I made. I made 7,000. This is from course sales. It's like bonus. I didn't expect to make money. That's why we dominated the contest. Like nobody even got close to us. Like we destroyed the contest. That's from course sales. And then I also got custom.
Yeah, sorry. Was it a course about how to make the no-code application, or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great, thank you. Sorry
Yeah,
for
this is basically Motivate Mate right here, for the most part. That's what this is. And then I also got custom jobs and selling the service itself. So you see, I made $7,600 in that time, just from some custom jobs and selling the services, like selling coaching calls and selling music albums. And then let's see. Yeah, the next steps. So that's a good question. My goal, I started this just like I come probably from the same background as you guys. I have a degree in computer science, and you kind of like, I want to be a leader in AI. Well, you can't call myself a leader unless I have a PhD, right? So I started like, I need to get some sort of certification. I need to learn. So I signed up for CourseRA, IBM's AI Dev certification, which is 6 months. And then you started learning and building stuff as I was doing that. And I learned very quickly, you don't need to do any courses. Why is that? Normally you do, right? You can't call yourself a marketing expert unless you study for 20 years, right? You can't call yourself a master of marketing. But because we're working on the edge, everything we're doing is shifting so quickly that in 3 months, you're better than 99.9% of the people in this space. It's just the reality. It's not because, it's just because things are moving so fast, right? Like if you know about DeepSeek right now, you're ahead of a lot of people. You're saving like, what, 500% if you know about DeepSeek, just the fact that you know about it, right? So you're an expert. Like if you're studying this stuff and you're building, you're already an expert. So just start building and start. You can start marketing, niche down, do research, and have fun. I think that's it, right? Let me check. All right, yeah. Any other questions? 24 minutes. How's that? Huh?
thank you for your, both these projects. I think they are both amazing. And I can say that because we are also building a project. I'm in a team, and we are also trying to do something with AI. So I can actually, relate to many of the things that you're doing. But the speed with which you have done all these things, it is amazing. And there's one more point that you brought out. I think that is very important. That is, build with the community. Whatever you're doing, get people involved. I think this is something not only for these AI projects, but for any other project. This is something that not many people do. And I think this can be a very different experience where the community can join you in the progress, in whatever you are doing. So I think that is a very good, thing, and amazing job done in both the projects, really.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a really important point. Very important. Like when I'm talking to you guys, I kind of feel like I'm not smart, like I'm an average guy. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, but if I'm talking to somebody that doesn't know AI, I'm like, I'm a PhD. I really am. Like to them, I'm a PhD. So you start building stuff and you show, and people are like, we know about these things. Like voice AI is mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It's absolutely mind blowing how powerful it is. But most people don't even know it's out there yet. Most people, they say, I know AI because they play with ChatGPT, and they don't even know how to prompt engineer. So there's tons of leverage. You just got to find your angle and take advantage of it. Building is a great way to do it. Building, showing people up, showing off what you're building. Yeah, it's a great way to do it.
How to build a community?
How to build a community?
Yeah.
We could follow Alina's lead. You build stuff, you get people involved, you interact with people. I think the most, like what she did with me is she made a personal connection quickly. It's very powerful because when your community is small, you make strong connections with individuals, and those people become your advocates. Like if Alina asks me to do something for her, I'm like, yeah, I'll help her out because I have a personal connection with her. So the early community becomes your advocates and your allies, and then as you build, they help reinforce your message, broadcast it. You get more and more fans. That's the basic concept.
Right. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And if I could add from my side, I think that's something that unites community very well. Well, it's one of three things, or maybe all together. First of all, certain area of expertise, which is actually not the case with AI that can be achieved as easily. So for example, yes, if you're focusing on audio models, if you're focusing on voice AI, that can be the area of expertise. At the same time, again, it is challenging because in AI, you are just having so many people that will try probably to go into your area. And that is why to have the competitive edge and to say that, well, the unique selling point of my community is with regards to having this expertise, tricky. However, two other things are probably something that is closer to us and more feasible. And the first one is more on the passion side. So if you're having the passion for music, how you are both having your spark in the eyes when you're talking about music generation, music creation, music curation, that is where exactly then you're contagious to others. And that is why it is possible to have the community running in that. And the third thing is probably certain big pain that you are facing. And that is something that I've seen with some people who were vocal on their certain diseases. So something that actually, brings you pain in the very end. At the same time, once you're talking about it, then it is getting easier for you, and it is also uniting others on that. When it comes to building certain product and then making the community out of it, probably it is more on the passion side. However, it can be also something different. If that is the pain of looking for real estate when you are renting something, that is also where you are likely to build a product around, the technical solution around, and then that would be also the pain that you would be communicating. At the same time, Max, thanks a lot for your walkthrough. I think that I personally have gotten very, very good motivational push. And I have also seen that how open you are on the things that you have done and how it is progressing. Don't say that you're not smart. You are.
Thank you.
And if that is possible for you to also share with the community members the potential demo access, that would be lovely.
Yeah, I'll do it right after the call.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Max.
The coaching call is really fun. I suggest playing with it. It's very cool.
Well, then wishing you to have a wonderful upcoming weekend.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.